so crazy for us because, you know, Matt and I have been traveling around the country doing these shows, and I think that it's been amazing to get to do it in this space with all of you. A lot of times we have to explain the LGBTQ idea, and so it's amazing to be in a space where there's a bunch of people here who care about those same issues. It's inspiring for us, and it's also the first event that we've ever traveled and brought our cast members with us. Woo! Aren't they gorgeous? So thank you for having us. The story is really super simple. I went to Uganda in the summer of 2005 to volunteer. I didn't know what to expect. I've never been to Uganda. I am not Ugandan. My grandmother is from Pittsburgh. So I went to Uganda. I was living in New York City, and I'm an actor, and I sort of, you know, didn't really feel like I had something to say. And so I traveled across the world to volunteer for 6 weeks. And during that time, I met an amazing group of teenagers, and I stumbled into them on the road. They stopped me. They called me Mzungu, which means white person. So I got all the way across the world, and I was a white person. But they stopped me, and they wanted to share their lives and their stories with me, and they explained that they were fending for themselves. Their parents had died, many of their parents had died from the HIV/AIDS epidemic. And so I spent the afternoon with them, and I asked them at the end of the day, I was like, how can I be of service? And they said, we want to go to school. They didn't ask for money, they didn't ask for food, they said they wanted to go to school. I thought that was so interesting. So I said, okay, well I don't have any school, got no money, but maybe I can teach you. I didn't know what I was going to teach them. I studied Shakespeare. I was like, anyone want to learn Shakespeare? They're like, who's that? So we spent 6 weeks in a village library talking about life and music and what does it feel like to be an American, what does it feel like to be a Ugandan, and an amazing relationship was formed. And so I promised them that I would go back to the United States and tell everyone their stories, and I would do everything that I could to raise money to put them all back into school. That's what I did. I flew back to New York, got all my poor friends, my actor friends together, we started throwing parties, and we raised enough money. I flew back in December and put all of the students, all 6 of them at the time, back into school. And that was the start of Uganda Project, which is our nonprofit organization that sponsors 10 Ugandan students. Cut to 2008, right? Everything was going well, and then the United States economy collapsed, and we started losing donors, and I was, freaking out, and that is when I met Matt Gould.
So Griffin's freaking out, and I'm like, calm down, let's get out of town for the weekend, chill out, we'll go away to the woods. And so we went away to the woods, and Griffin kept ranting and raving about how hard it is to try to help people. And unbeknownst to him, I'd hit record on my garage band, because of course I had my laptop in the woods. And, thank you, I captured what would become the first interview in our musical, Witness Uganda. And I said to him, Griffin, what has led you to this dark place? How have you come here? And he said,
it starts because it's hard. So anytime something's hard, you're going to question whether or not you're supposed to be doing it. If it was easy, I don't think that I would question, but more often than not, it's hard to raise money or to find a sponsor, to understand what's going on over there. When I'm all the way over here, it makes things difficult. So there's times when I'm like, I don't know if this matters. I lay in my bed at night and think to myself, what if I never met them? What if I never got on that plane? How different would my life be? Sometimes I'm like, quit, give up. But once I knew their names, once I'd seen their faces, I could never forget. In the Bible, it's about obeying. Like, you're supposed to do it because you're supposed to obey. You don't need to know why you're doing it, you just need to obey. And so there's a part of me that feels like I'm doing it because, well, I'm obeying. and other people were supposed to share with people, and they were supposed to share with people about the complexity of helping, because really it could be simple. I think that's like the big thing in life and in politics and whatnot. A lot of it is really simple. It's like the solutions are simple. It's like if everyone pulled their weight, if everyone did what they were supposed to do, it wouldn't be this massive issue. So putting 10 kids through school shouldn't be a massive issue. But I think what happens is everybody doesn't actually want to take on that.